We're going to be calling agents live here. And what Hugh and I are going to do is we're going to show you a couple of different perspectives on how to source, find agents, talk to agents. And our intent here is that we can talk about distressed real estate, hopefully make some connections with agents. Hopefully we can look at some deals, make some offers. That would be our intent of showing you how to do this. And this is a strategy, guys, that we refer to as direct to agent. Now, there's a few different models around how to do this. One would be calling on listed properties. This would be a distressed seller who went and hired an agent. They listed the property. We can call and see if we can negotiate, make an offer on those. Those are a little more difficult to land deals simply because they're active on the market and everybody already knows about it. So we're competing with the market on those ones. But that's a way to make a connection with an agent. It's a way to make an offer on an existing property. I look at it as kind of a two-step process. One is an excuse to call the agent, talk about the listed property, but then I know that there's a low success rate at getting that at a discount at a wholesale price. We still do, but then I shift the conversation to talking to the agent about pocket listings or basically getting them to bird dog leads. Then at the same time, we're going to go back and forth, and Hugh is going to take a little bit of a different approach. He actually recently just did a text blast, Hugh, to your
Yeah.
list.
So in preparation for this event, I do a text blast to maybe like 100 agents in a completely new market. I have never done deals here before, but to show people how to bootstrap your business from scratch, right? What I did is I call text about 100 agents. So every 3 minutes, I send one text with an intro, something like, "Hey, my name is Hugh Boy. I'm looking to buy a house in, Greenville is where I'm targeting, Greenville, South Carolina. Can I call you to talk about it?" Right? It's just some basic intro text. And then what's going to do is it's going to allow agent to actually know my name via the text first. So like when I call, it's a little easier to get the conversation going. So as Jerry go through the first method, the text will be sending out throughout time so that we're going to have constant, constant incoming, lead from the agent who respond to the text.
Yeah. So hopefully you've got some agents that are going to be queued up, ready for conversations. That's the goal here, guys.
Right.
It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be calling agents that have these listed properties. Maybe they pick up the phone, maybe they don't. I might have to call a few to get somebody. Probably going to start in Detroit, Metro Detroit. That's my area code matches. I do a lot of deals there, so it'll be a little bit easier to get this off the ground if I do that. One thing also on this show, this episode that Hugh and I will do is we'll probably share our screen and we'll show you a little bit how we're doing this using PropWire is a great way to do this where you can get in front of agents. Probably show you how to do that. It doesn't cost you anything. You guys can go to propwire.com for free. Yeah, maybe set up a free account or whatever if you want to follow along or learn how to doing this. But there's that going on too. So we'll show you that. And I'll also even show you a really fast, easy way to do this right on Redfin, because Redfin has a fixer-upper category that we can look for properties that are identified as fixer-uppers, which is what we're looking for, distressed properties. So
Jerry, before you go on, I want to pause right quick because I really like PropWire, because PropWire is like the only site that allow you to download mass agent lists for free. Like other site, they either charge you or they don't provide agent contact information. PropWire is like one of the only site that I know that have property address right alongside the agent's name and phone number. Now you can definitely go to Redfin, Zillow, but what you have to do is manually copy and paste all of the phone number. It's a freaking hassle, but I'll show you guys in a little bit. With PropWire, you click a few buttons, the list is ready to go. It saves a lot of time.
Yeah, and Hugh, you'll like this. We're working on some more features for direct to agent investors like you, where we're gonna gather more data on the agents and make the process of downloading their info even easier. So you're gonna like some of the changes that are coming up. So yeah, so this is gonna be fun, guys. If you guys are not doing direct to agent, let's take a second and just talk about this. One of the greatest benefits of direct to agent is, one, it's free, doesn't cost you anything other than your time to make these connections. And two, it's a referral-based model. So the idea here is that these agents become a repeat source of leads. Unlike direct to seller, where it's a kind of a one and done, direct to agent is the gift that keeps giving. And that's one of the benefits that Hugh and I both love about direct to agent is if you make the right connections, hopefully it's not just one deal, two deals. It's deals
Yeah.
ongoing for a long time. I know I have agents that now bring me their leads repeatedly, and I've done several deals with that specific agent. And I know, Hugh, you've done the same thing now,
Yeah.
especially once you perform. Once you perform and you close on a deal, now you're their go-to, and they're going to call you every time.
Yeah. And I think it's like building like a referral army base is what I call it. Like you have these soldier that you recruit over time, and they're not gonna be like a one and done. They're gonna go into battle for you like years in years out, right? So like, if you have a large army, they're gonna bring you deals. And the problem I have right now, Jerry, is like in my business, the biggest problem is we have too many leads that we don't have time to call. Like that's a rare problem that most business doesn't have, but we do, and we did it because we take years to build a really big base at the very bottom, so that we have leads every single day, and we didn't even have time to call them all. So
imagine that, guys. Your biggest problem is too many leads. Put in the chat right now, I wish I had that problem, too many leads. but guys, what he was telling you here is that he's built the pipeline, he's built the infrastructure so that will happen. And it's taken time, but you can do that too. You can build the infrastructure in your market where agents are now inbounding you, right? They're inbounding you with leads, and that's when you've arrived at direct to agent. So that's exciting. Okay, so we're ready to really get going here. What I'll do, Hugh, is I think what I might do is I might just show first. I haven't done any prep here, but I'll randomly just go into a county in Metro Detroit, and I'll see if I can just find something worth calling on, and then see how we do. And then after I do a call, Hugh will let you have a turn here. So let's see if I can figure this out here, guys. I'm going to share my screen. And guys, by the way, if we have time, I'll randomly call in another market. I'll randomly call in your market. I'll actually look up something that looks like maybe it's distressed. I'll call the agent. I'll see what we can do. So in the chat right now, if you're watching, leave a comment and put your metro market that if we get time, if we can, I'll try to call in that market. Okay. So leave that in the comments in the chat, and we'll see if we can get to that. But I'm going to go ahead now and share my screen. Let's see if it'll let me do this. Okay, you guys can see my screen, right? Is it showing my screen okay, Hugh?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm inside PropWire right now, and what I did right before we started is I went in, I put Oakland County, Michigan, so I'm looking at the county, and then I think I did two lead types. I think I did just MLS active, and I just did out of state for fun.
Yeah.
There's a few different ways you could do. Sometimes I'll do high equity, but look at all these things. You can stack. So if you pick multiple leads, it will stack them against each other, right? So right now, all I have listed is actives that are for sale right now and out of state. I just figured, hey, maybe those would be some motivated sellers that they own a property and they live in another state. Now, who knows if those are motivated, but then it gives me 64 here, guys. And like, look at this one. This first one here, or this one right here, it's not the first one. It's a couple ones down right here. Where'd it go? Let me go. This one here, I know this market really well. Pontiac is where I started my investing. I know pretty much every single street. I've probably wholesaled a house on every street in this little town. And this is, I'm just looking at the picture that popped up on the screen, and I think there's like a board in the window. So, so I'm going to click on this card and look at it. I mean, look at the pictures.
Jeez.
This is like definitely something that we would be interested in. Now, they have it listed at 95 with an estimated value of 93. So, it's probably overpriced. But that's not the point. The point is I found a distressed property, and I'm going to call this agent. I can look at more pictures if I want, but I don't really need to. If I click up here at MLS listing, check it out, guys. Lisa Benfield. I actually know Lisa Benfield really well. I've done a ton of deals with Lisa. I haven't talked to her in a while. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to call her right now, and let's just see what's going on.
You have her saved in your phone already?
Yeah.
So, Jerry, while you're calling, I want to emphasize the importance of follow-up, right? Because even though she know you and she should know that she should send a deal to you. But then what happened was everybody got too busy, right? So even though she knows she has a fix up, or she know that you're buying a fix up, but she didn't send it to you. So the important thing here is like we want to keep following up with agents even after we build the initial connections, because whoever follow up with her the last will be the one he sent the deal to. It doesn't matter if you talk to her like 3-5 years ago. If you don't follow up, then you wouldn't receive the deal. So we make sure in our business we check in with an agent between 14 to 45 days. We send a text, we send a call to check in with them, just so that if they have something, they'll send it to us.
Yeah, in fact, that's completely my fault with this one because I haven't stayed in touch with her. It's been a while since I've done a deal with Lisa. I bet I've done over the years probably a couple dozen deals with her. So, but again, I haven't been staying in touch with her, which is my fault, which is exactly what you're talking about, Hugh.
Right.
I just texted her. Let me go back to my list here. So I'm just kind of moving along here. And remember, guys, the nature of an out-of-state owner is probably a buy and hold investor. Not always. Sometimes it's somebody who moved away, but it's probably a buy and hold investor. So most of these properties are probably investment type properties. And so that's kind of a good indicator, of something to look at. So I could just strategically start at the top and work my way down. Because we're doing this show right now, what I tend to do is try to look for something that looks ugly. So all I'm looking at is some exteriors right now just to see, hey, it's ugly. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I could share my screen again if you guys want, but I'm just kind of going through the list and looking for something that looks a little beat up. I'll go ahead and share my screen just so you guys can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's not
Guys,
hard.
imagine you have all the filters on PropWire to just select whatever like pain point you want. I bet you if you select pre foreclosure stack with listing, then that's just like every deal you call is gonna be a motivated seller because you lose that home.
Yeah, like watch this. Let's go in here and let's say I almost always do high equity because I like to make cash offers. So that brought me down to 30 with high equity. So that's a great filter.
So this is high equity and out of state, right?
Yeah, high equity and out of state. So I don't need to click absentee owner because that's what an out of state would be. But if I just clicked absentee owner, it would just mean they don't live in the property. So I definitely have I could click tired landlord. Now tired landlord, all that means is they've owned it for more than 10 years. So that brought me down to 13. So see how I've got now a more concentrated list. Now, if you stack it too much, you're not going to have anything to look at. So be careful not to do that. But let's just see what this gives me if I can get it, if I can find something. And then what I'll typically do is I'll go from list price low to high, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, it didn't do it. Sort list price, and then that'd be okay. So this would be low to high. So let's check out this one here. I see some permit tags in the window. And also pay attention to the cards, right? What do you call this? These are all the matches. So this is absentee owner. They have an adjustable loan, high equity. It's an MLS active. They're an out-of-state owner and a tired landlord. So it kind of tells you all the things they hit.
Right.
And then again, if I go up here to MLS listing, this is, I also know Cal Fowler. So I'll call Cal.
We got to get you on a follow-up system, Jerry.
I know. I haven't been doing, you know why? I haven't been doing direct to agent like aggressively in Detroit. I've just been doing direct to seller.
Yeah.
But
you're opening up a new market, so it's focus being spent on
that. I'm just focusing on that. I definitely want to get I used to run a really good active ML.
Real estate.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a hold of Cal.
May I tell who's calling?
Yeah, Jerry Norton.
Okay, regarding which house?
Oh, Maxlow.
Are you calling the office right now, Jerry? That's why it's then.
Hi, Cal. It's Jerry. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a minute.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's been a little while.
I know. Jerry, I don't know what Jerry. I got 14 on my note.
Oh, Jerry Norton.
Oh, how you been?
Good, good. I've been doing a lot of direct to seller, not a lot of direct to agent lately, but was noticing this listing you've got here on Maxlow Avenue.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
Tell me about it. What's the play here? Is there an opportunity on this one? Sell me on it.
Well, it needs work. I mean, the price there's money to be made on it. I'm selling it as is. Got to be a cash sale. So right now, because you can't get a mortgage on it, because I don't think the furnace works. I think the plumbing was okay. I think they might have winterized it though, so I can't tell you any more than that. You thinking about flipping it?
Yeah, I think so. I like Hazel Park, and I like the. I know you can buy and hold there, but I just like to flip there. It's got the garage. Is this on a basement?
No basement.
No basement. But I do really well in Hazel Park on flips. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, so that might make it a rental, don't you think?
Okay, actually, this is a bungalow. Okay.
A bundle?
A bungalow. I mean, and there is a 3rd bedroom upstairs, but I didn't put it in.
Oh, bungalow. Yeah. Okay.
I just tried to keep the price down so the bank could get rid of it. So it shows a 2-bedroom. There is a finished room upstairs, so it's a 3rd bedroom. Go look at it, but if I were you, I'd wear a mask in there. It smells because the lady that lived there, I don't know, it was just dirty when I get it. I had to have it all cleaned out. So it was one of those.
Yeah. How aggressive is the bank on this one? Are they wanting to dump it, or are they holding out, or what do you think?
I would say I got them at the price I did. I thought that was a pretty good price. You look around, you should be able to sell that lot for $100,000. Builders are already contacted me on it. So,
to do a tear down and rebuild on it?
Oh yeah, look what they're getting for some of those things. 500,000-600,000. Come on, that's a lot of money.
I think Hazel Park's going to be the next like Ferndale, maybe.
But you better start buying, keeping them.
I don't like to keep things. I don't have the patience for that.
Let me tell you, like half of my problem this week's been my tenants bugging me all the time.
How many rentals do you have now?
I don't know. Go count them. Good luck.
Yeah, see, that sounds like you're having a fun time with it.
They're fun. I always get a kick out of them.
What do I got to spend on this one? Because I'm looking at a comp right now on Milton, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 719 square feet, done up really nice. Wood floors all done up, new kitchen, everything. It sold for $130 in June.
It's sold.
Yeah, it's sold. This is a sold.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it, cap it out to see what I thought.
But
I can't tell you. Did I hear you right, Norton?
Norton.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure I was right.
Yeah, I used to buy a lot from you back when everything was a foreclosure.
Well, buy some more. I don't mind. I'm still dealing with a lot of foreclosures.
How many bank properties do you have now?
I don't know. We got about 15.
How do I get your list to look at all of them?
No, you can't get any of them until they come on the market. That's one thing I avoided the last time. A couple of guys, they went to the people in foreclosure, and I told whatever you do, don't bother the people. So they knock on the door.
Yeah, that's not smart.
Oh no, that's I had not even an hour ago. A guy called me.
Well, how do I get it once it's? How do I get it in between after foreclosure and before you list it, just so I can have my numbers ready?
You don't. They only can do it on the market.
I gotta wait till you list them.
Yep, I won't tell anybody until I list them in that way. Because like the one you're calling me on, it's in the MLS, so you can get in there.
That's why I saw it, and it's a day on the market. But now I got to compete with everybody.
Yep.
Maybe I'll win your trust, and you'll let me see the list early.
Go buy this one, then you got my trust.
Okay. There we go. But wait,
on that particular house, if you're going into it, I'm actually going to go over there in a few minutes ago because somebody messed up my lockbox, and they said they couldn't open it. I says, you got to pull real hard on that one from what he told me. So I'm going to change the lockbox.
I can have someone meet there and look at it. When are you going?
They they go over there right now. I don't know when I'm going to get there. I got 2 or 3 places I got to go to first.
But I can get in it.
Yeah, you can get it. When you pull the lockbox, it's hard to pull open, I was told, but you can do it. It will work. Okay?
All right, but if my comp is 130, I'm not going to be able to pay 90.
I don't care what you pay. Make
Okay.
an offer. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
You know? All righty. Okay.
I'm gonna get him over there right now. But do I need to call and use my license to get the lockbox, or can you give it to me?
Gotta put it through the thing.
Yeah, you got to put that one through the board.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll just call, set the appointment, and get the lockbox.
All righty. Yeah, just make an appointment. Go on in there, okay?
I'll go in there and look at it, and then give you my offer.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay, bye. All right.
It's a really good call, Jerry. Really like that call. I actually note down a few things. Obviously, this guy have deals coming all the time from the bank, and I do see that you're trying to see if we can, even take a look at them a few days before it go live. It seems like he tried that with another investor and got snaked behind, so like he's put a bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah, he'll let me do it. I just got to get in his good graces again.
Yeah. One thing is, I think if we, if I were to call this agent, what I can do to earn his trust right away is I immediately ask him to send me a buyer agreement specifying I'm going to pay his 6%, right? And I'm like, he's exclusive to me for all of these bank deals. And it's going to build trust like instantly because he know for sure you're not going to go around him because you still have to pay him anyways.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't have the conversation because it's already pre-established. But him and I both know this is a double dip, right?
Yep.
So everybody listening here, if this was an agent who I didn't already have a relationship with in the past, then I would probably have to have the conversation, hey, I'm unrepresented. I'll let you represent me, write the offer for me. He already knows that and assumes that and wouldn't even be talking to me if there was buyer representation. Yeah, so he knows that I'm double dipping. So he would get the list commission and the buyer side commission.
Yeah.
But again, the reason why we didn't talk about that was because we've already pre-established that. So, but when you guys talk to agents, you have to have that conversation because that will greatly increase their desire to work with you when they understand that they're going to get double commission. Okay.
Yep.
So guys,
this is the kind of agent that you want to be friend with. This is not the kind of agent who put retail listings on the market and just like be all shiny. This is the agent who be in the weed, who don't mind smelly house, who work with banks on difficult situations. This is an agent that like if I only need probably a dozen of these agents to do at least like 1 or 2 deals like a year, right? So
I didn't know he was still doing bank-owned properties because I haven't stayed in touch with him. So back in the day, just so you guys know. I got started in Detroit in 2004, and when 2007 and 8 happened in Detroit, everything became a foreclosure. So between 2007 all the way to about 2013, I would do probably, 80 to 100 bank properties a year in those Metro Detroit markets with guys like him. So I just did all wholesale bank-owned properties listed with agents. So back then, and still now, like he said, he has 13 or 15 bank properties right now, active bank properties. Yeah. Now, and back in the day, he probably had hundreds or thousands of them, so he still gets them, and there's still opportunities, clearly. Okay, so Hugh, that was a great call. Hopefully, you guys got some value out of that. Put in the comments questions you had about that call, things you learned, takeaways. If you're excited, keep active in the comments. Let us know what you're doing. And then Hugh, now show us your process and what you're up to.
All right, let me share my screen here. Hopefully, it's gonna work. Let me know if you see it.
I gotta prove it. Okay, there you go.
There we go. All right, so first thing we'll do is go to propwire.com, and what I like to do is go in here and search for a county, right? Right now, I am reaching out to Greenville County in South Carolina. This is an area where I never do deals before. So you guys can just enter the name of the county here, and then just look. There's a couple of Greenville, but we want to choose the county, right? So I'm choosing this one. The first filter I'm going to put down is I'm going to go to I think is it MLS filter. I'm going to change this to active. And this is like the only filter that I have because I'm doing a different method where like I'm just reaching out to agent in general, not necessarily agent with fixer upper, just any agents, and see if we can become friends and see if they can send me future deals. So if I have this filter, then it's gonna narrow down my list to 1789, right? So what you can do from here is this is the magic. You click here, you click select all. You can go to download. You don't need to skip trace because we're not talking to the owner. We're talking to an agent. So you can just select download only and make sure that you turn this on. Okay, for you to receive the agent information, you have to click this on. So once I have that, it's going to generate a CSV file. Then you're going to be directed to the my activity. Right, so you go here, and I already have it ready for download, as you can see. So you're just going to download the list. And Jerry, the beautiful thing I like about this is, watch this, guys. Like the address is right here. The agent contact information is all on the right. Okay, you have the phone number, the email, the name, all in here. Because if you're, doing manual work, it's gonna take you so long to get this list. This have like 1,700 rows here. It took me like 5 seconds to get this list, right? So going back to this, let me stop sharing real fast. How do I do that?
Usually at the bottom somewhere, a little stop sharing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So what I did was I upload that list to a dialer, and what I do is I basically send out a bunch of texts saying that like, hey, I'm looking to buy a house in Greenville. Can I call you? And I'll show you guys what it looked like on my CRM here. So do you need to allow the sharing again, Jerry?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this is what it's going to look like. I already sent text to agent since 1:30 in prep for the show. But as you can see here, it's a pretty simple text. Hey, Brittany, this is Hugh. I'm looking to buy a home in Greenville or nearby area. I got your number from whatever listing. And this is from PropWire, right? It's provide you with the listing for you to refer to. Can I call you in a little bit? She said, absolutely. Looking forward to hear from you. Oh, instant connection. And we have I think we have like 7 or 8 of these piled up. So like we can just call one by one as we go. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and call down the list here as we go. And guys, like the listing to me doesn't really matter. I'm more care about like, how can I get this agent to send me more deals?
Exactly.
So let me just call Brittany from my cell. See here. That's gonna be Brittany. There we go. All right. I'm gonna look up the listing here while I'm calling.
Hello.
Hi, Brittany. This is Hugh. How's it going?
It's going well. How was everything going your way?
It's going good. I just sent you a text about looking to buy a home in Greenville, and I basically came across your land listing online. I'm not really buying land right now, but I'm basically looking for a house, something that I can either fix up or put as a rental. I mainly operate in Georgia and Columbia. I just now begin to venture into Greenville, so I would definitely want to see if you can help me find something that makes sense.
Okay, so just tell me exactly what you're looking for, and I can kind of take into consideration while I shop around for you.
Yeah, so I'm basically looking for properties with motivated seller that want to sell fast for cash, or just houses that need some work. It's been really difficult to find anything that makes sense on the MLS. So that's why we expand even all the way to Greenville, on top of Columbia and Atlanta. So I thought I'd try it, see if you have any properties coming up that could be a good fit. And
what's your investment range?
I'm sorry?
Investment range.
investment range. Typically, it's gonna be typically under $300,000, but I am approved up to 3 million, so I can go higher. It's just most of the amount of deals we do is gonna be in that medium price range, even though we can stretch if the deal is correct. So.
Okay, are you part of a group or are you doing this by yourself?
It's just me and it's just me and an assistant. So it's pretty small business. I'm not like Open Door or OfferPad. I'm like, it's just mom and pop, have a crew going for me. My crew can travel within like an hour of, Columbia and Atlanta, and Greenville is right there in that area. So like they can stretch all the way to Greenville. That's why I'm expanding my radius. So if you don't have anything, would you be willing to just ask around your friends and see if somebody has something coming up? I've seen most of the stuff online already.
Yeah, I can definitely look around. Any preferred area?
I basically, if it's within a 1 hour drive of Greenville, I'm willing to take a look at it. It's gotta be more on.
Any preferred areas in Greenville, like downtown area? Are you familiar with Greenville?
I lived there for a little bit. I'm not too familiar. So for right now, though, I think it depends on the deal. So like we're willing to try any area as long as the number makes sense. To get our feet wet, I cannot afford to be too picky right now in this market. There's just not many deals go around. So, but if you know of an area that's upcoming, definitely let me know. I think for right now, we're keeping.
And you want a house that you can fix up. You don't want any land, something that you can rehab.
I want something that can rehab. For land, I'm not too experienced. Usually for land, what I'll do is I'll partner up with a builder in the area and basically see if he can help me structure the deal together. So if you have land, send it to me, but just know that house is like where my strength lies. I'm not going to say no to land though, so send me those too.
Okay. What did you think about the land that my listing? Is that that's a pretty great area. That's downtown.
Yeah, I think
really high area.
Yeah, I look at that. I think the price point is a little higher for me. I know it's downtown. That's probably why the list price is like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for more like lower price land so that I can build something more like affordable for it to sell fast in this kind of market. So that is a little high for me.
Okay.
So something on the smaller side when it's come to land in terms of the price.
Okay.
And what I'll do is
I just sent you what I can. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you send a deal to me, if it's your listing, I would love for you to represent me as the buyer as well. This way you can earn both sides of the commissions on the same deal. Basically, just I don't have a buyer agent, so I usually just let the listing agent take the commission as well if they write my offer.
Okay.
So you keep that in mind.
Okay, that's good to know. And I think you would let me know that. So yes, I will jump on that and I'll send you. Would you like me to send it to this number or to your email?
What I'll do is I'll send you my contact information after I hang up. It's gonna include my email, my phone number.
Is it your information or someone else's information?
It's my information. Yeah, it's my information. I'll send you my Facebook link as well. You can see me online.
Okay, absolutely. Just send it over to me and
all right.
I'll get a look out for you.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you, Brittany. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Great.
Okay, that was going really well.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jerry?
Well, question. She's overpriced on the lot, but would you want to still make an offer on it, or even ask her like, "Hey, is your seller open to a discount off of that list price, or are they holding out for full price?"
Yeah. So I'm in cold calling mode right now. So like my goal is how do I call as many agents as possible? If we spend time on this land, it's going to be 10, 15 minutes per call. Okay. And I'm not going to be able to build my base. And again, like this might be a deal, but like we have to negotiate so hard. Usually 90% of my deals are off market anyway. So I know even if I do a deal on this one, it's going to be a long negotiation and the fee is probably going to be pretty small. So it wasn't worth my time to do that. I'm basically just let her off the hook. And I really have to emphasize that, hey, I don't want anything online. I have to say it several times, because if you don't, an agent's just going to do, it's going to put you on a drip campaign. It's going to send you all of the active listings. So
Totally. Good. Guys, questions on Hugh's call there? Any feedback, anything there? Now, I want to reiterate, Hugh, your process here. Hugh is doing this in bulk at a high level, and has a lot of automation. So he's able to send out messages to these agents. Now that agent is going to go into a follow-up sequence. That agent's going to start to get live calls, and they're going to get automated messages from Hugh and his team to just stay in front of this agent. So that way, when that agent happens to meet a seller on a listing appointment, before listing it, they're going to call Hugh and his team. And that's how Hugh's getting his deals. He's getting his deals off market from agents before they list properties. And he's on that call. What Hugh did there is he's training that agent to bird dog for him. That's really what's happening.
Yep.
Okay. Question here, Hugh. When do you disclose to the agent that you intend to wholesale?
It depends on the regulation of your state, right? If your state requires you to disclose, then there's no way around it. The market that I'm wholesaling in, there's no disclosure law necessarily. And also, like, I position myself so that I have capital to close on deals if we need to. And we have done a few deals with Jerry too, where like something happened to the deal. If we have to jump in and close, we close. So I don't feel the need to say I'm wholesaling just because I do know that I have the money to buy it. Now, what do you do if you don't have the money to buy it? Can you still say that you're not wholesaling? I think if you can, be friend with a really connected, like a really like well-resourced operator in your area, you can say that because that operator is going to back you no matter what. For example, if you do deals in Detroit, like Jerry can fund 100% of your deal. If it's a good deal, he can fund in 2 or 3 days, and I can do the same. So if you have somebody like that in your local market, you can 100% be more confident with these agents. Like, hey, me and my partner will be closing on this no matter what.
Yeah, I'm going to add something to that. If you are wholesale only and you don't have the ability or the history of closing, then here's my recommendation to people. There are several different times during your wholesale process where you have the opportunity to disclose to the agent what you're doing. My recommendation is whether you do it on the initial call, you do it during your due diligence, you do it after your contract. I really don't care when you do it, but it is advisable that you have that conversation prior to starting your dispo process.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, Jerry, I forgot to cut you off. That is exactly what we do. We disclose to the agent right after we sign the contract, because what my TC will do is they'll reach out to the agent and explain to them the whole process on how we have multiple exit strategy, and reselling assets is one of them. I don't use the word wholesale because people just automatically assume it's bad. I replace wholesale with reselling assets to another investor. Like, people do not have a problem with that whatsoever. And we even go a step further where we say we're gonna market out the deals, because I use every single deal as an opportunity to expand my network of vendors, contractors, funding partners, even investors I can resell to. So don't be alarmed if you see my deal somewhere on social media. So if you 9 10 out of 10, they do not have any problem with that. But if they do, then you should dispose your deal accordingly. But 90% of the time, they say, okay, whatever, do your thing. I don't care.
Yeah, another way that I'll say it, Hugh, is I'll say to that agent, I'll say, look, we're through due diligence. We're ready to move forward on this. And I just want to let you know that I work with multiple partners on deals, and I'm not quite sure which of my partners is actually going to be the entity that closes and funds on the deal, which means we may be switching the buyer of contract prior to closing. Okay. Now, what I just said was I'm going to sign my contract to another investor without saying I'm going to sign or wholesale my contract. I just explained to them that another buyer is going to step in, and so I'm laying it out in terms that an agent would understand. Agents understand investors work with each other. Agents understand that investors have different entities. Guys, I do deals in multiple entities, and I never know which entity is going to end up being in the deal until I've figured out my exit. And that's normal for investors. So talk to agents like a business, and then it's fine. Now, direct to seller, we say that in a whole different way, because you're talking to Aunt Betty that lives in the home. So you got to talk to her differently than you would an agent. But the reason why it's important to disclose to the agent sometime before you begin dispo is you don't want that agent finding out that you're doing what you're doing, you're wholesaling. You don't want them to find that out on their own. You want them to find that out from you explaining to them, so that way they can stay cool about it. Otherwise, they might freak out. They might see you posting the property on Facebook for a higher price. They might get a random call from a buyer or something. They don't want to get blindsided. Agents are fine as long as they're not blindsided about stuff. Okay. Is that helpful? That was a great question. Okay, so I'm going to jump in, Hugh, and do another one. I'm going to show guys a little bit different here. Hold on one second. I want to pull my. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to show you a different way to do it that may be helpful to people. And okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, if you go to redfin.com, and I'll just stick with Oakland County for right now. If I click Oakland County, Michigan, and then I go to my filters, and I go down here to one filter called Fixer Upper.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And that's it. That's all. The only filter I'm going to do. Now I could add more filters if I want to be more specific, but that's all I'm going to do. Right as of right now on this recording, Redfin has identified 30 properties that they consider fixer upper. Now, how does Redfin know it's a fixer upper? They have some kind of they're looking at an algorithm. They have an algorithm that's looking at the comments, and they're looking for distress in the comments.
Yeah.
So here's our list right here. As you can see it here on the side here. These are all properties. Now this one's been on a day. This little house right here has been active a day. So I tend to start with the most recent, just because the agents know they just listed something. They're expecting calls from investors. That there's a higher likelihood that they'll answer the phone. So this property is in Waterford. I know that market really well, and you can see here it needs new floors, and So by the way, what is telling us that this is a fixer upper? I bet you I could find it if I look at the comments here.
There we go.
So, TLC. There it is. And cosmetic updates. So Redfin, they see that and they go, oh, fixer upper, and they categorize it that way. Isn't that a cool feature? I wish Zillow had the same thing. Okay, so now if I want to call on this one, unlike PropWire, which just gives me the data, I got to go in here and say, okay, this is listed by Susan here. I'm going to go ahead and, look her up. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because we have to be careful about what we show on YouTube. It'll shut our video down if we show too much. It's so dumb because I wish I could just show you guys everything. But right now I'm looking her up, and usually if I Google her name and I go to realtor.com, Realtor does a really good job of displaying their agents. Some agents make it hard to find, which is really stupid. Like they're just not easy to find. I don't know why you'd be a real estate agent and not blast your information all over the internet. That's what I would do.
I think 95% of the time you Google the name plus the word realtor, it's pop right up.
Yeah. So it is a bunch of extra steps. It does take time. That's the tedious part of this manual way of calling on listed. But I found her cell phone.
What's the address again, Jerry?
Where'd it go? I'll give it to you here real quick.
Hi, it's Stu Cromwright from Howard, Hanna, and Clark.
The double dialer.
Yeah, call again.
And usually what I do, guys, is while it's dialing her, I'll put my copy and paste text in. And again, Hugh has all this automated.
Hi, it's Stu Cromwright from Howard, Hanna, and Clark.
Probably go to the bar already. It's 3 p.m. on a Friday, so.
Real soon. Bye-bye.
So you could leave a message, but I'm just going to send a quick text, guys, and it's, hi, Sue. I'm an investor interested in making an all cash offer on, then I'll plug in the address there. Lakeview, what was this? Lakeview Street.
Yep.
Then I'll say, call me. And that always gets done. Now, again, guys, think of this as a dual purpose process, calling on listed properties. I'm going to call and talk about the one listed. Maybe I'll make an offer. Maybe she'll tell me, where I need to be is half of what it's listed for. That's very common. But what I really want to show you is that once I get through that part of the initial reason why I called you, now I'm going to have my conversation, which is going to sound much more similar to what Hugh says, which is, hey, I'm looking for deals. Can you, when you come across something distressed, can you call me? You know, I'll pay your commission and we'll work out a deal before you list it. Like that's the conversation I really want to have.
Yeah, for sure. And Jerry, before we move on, I want to highlight two things that a lot of students come to me for issues. Number one is you guys should not call on listed properties where the price are too low. Meaning, my rule of thumb is if it's listed for less than 70K, don't even bother. The reason is because you have to offer lower. So that when you send to your buyer, they'll take a look at it, right? Usually my rule of thumb is if it's listed, we have to send it out at minimum 25 grand lower than the list price. So for example, if the home is listed for 75 grand, right? The most that you can dispose the deal is 50 grand. And from that, you have to subtract your fee. So now you have to go even lower than 50, right? And the agent commission is going to be so small, seller doesn't walk away with anything. So those deals are just tough to do. So my rule of thumb is if the list price is already too low, just move on. The second thing is, the second thing is you don't want to call on properties that are bought after 2021 really, because there's just no equity for you to make a big discount on your fee. So when you were doing your prop wire filter on like, is it like a high equity? Like that's gonna strip out a lot of the junks, right? But if you guys going on Redfin or Zillow to scroll through the listing to call, make sure you check when is the last time they bought it, because if they bought it recently, there's no chance that you're gonna be able to buy that deal. So focus your energy more on the relationship building with the agent, not on the deal itself, because that deal will probably it cannot pencil out.
Yeah, good points. Yeah, I love that. So I'm gonna look at another one here real quick while I don't know if that person's gonna call me back or not. But this one was listed 2 hours ago. So it's just another one off that Redfin list under Fixer Upper. And the agent real quick here. So give me a second. Okay, I've got a phone number here. Let's see if this works. And the pictures on the listing looks like it's vacant, which is a great indicator.
Can you text me the address when you have a chance?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Hello, this is Tom.
Hi, Tom. This is Jerry Norton. How are you, sir? Good, good. How about your Leonard? Is this something that would fit that?
Yeah. It was.
Okay. Tell me what's going on with this one.
So it's in okay condition. Can definitely be upgraded here.
Okay.
Going live on Monday though.
Oh, coming soon. Yeah, I just saw it said 2 hours on I saw it on Redfin.
Okay, yeah, it's coming soon, so we're not ready yet.
It looks like it's almost 3 acres. I know Leonard well. I lived in Oxford for a while.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think this thing would retail for if it was fixed up? Any idea?
No, I don't know. Sorry.
Okay. Do you get properties like this much?
Sometimes, yeah. But yeah, it would be worth quite a bit more if it was fixed. So.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look right now. What do you think it would need in repairs? Any idea there?
Oh. Yeah, you'd probably think 30K in it, and it will do pretty well and be able to get you quite a good return. But yeah, the big one is she wants to probably wait till Monday, and then if you want me to take you there, I can take you there. But she's just not kind of ready for any showings yet.
Yeah, it's vacant though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, but she just wants to get some things ready there before people go in it. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, she and I would rather prefer to just go live on Monday. So.
Yeah, I guess where I'm coming from is My preference would be I have my offer in and ready and try to get ahead of the competition.
I know, but yeah, we're gonna probably wait on that.
Okay, so I couldn't get in there early and then try to have a cash offer ready?
Oh, it is possible. Are you a realtor?
I have my license, but I'm an investor. So I can set
Yeah.
up a showing on my own. You don't have to meet me there.
Okay. I could probably let you in early if you want.
Okay.
And you could just go show it yourself and see what you want to do. But yeah, I just rather prefer to get some people in there and then make our decision instead of just accepting the first offer.
Yeah. How long do you think you'll wait and see what the market does?
I really don't know. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
So
because like hypothetically, if I offered full price cash, would they take that, or would they still hold and wait and see what everybody does?
They would probably hold off.
Yeah. Okay. So that tells me I don't need to rush out there and try to get something done right this second, because
exactly.
If there's no competitive advantage, then there's no competitive advantage. By the way, I'm unrepresented, so I'm licensed, but I would let you write the offer for me. Are you able to do that?
I could. Yeah.
Okay. You could take both sides.
I could. Yeah.
Okay. That's how I prefer to work with agents, even though I have my license, because I'm after the property, not the commission. So I'd rather you get that, if that's
I hear you.
Interesting.
Yeah. That makes sense. I just think, why don't I let you in? You go over there, and then you can throw it in. Like, we can talk about it. I'm kind of in the middle of something right now, and then whatever you come up with, I'll definitely give it over to her.
Okay. Yeah, I follow a pretty simple formula. I try to be all into the property at 70% of what I can resell it for. So whatever that fixed up number would be, 70% of that, because less repairs would be my buy. So I want to be all in at that. So just for example, if it'll resell for 500, if I put 50 into it, 500 times 0.7 is 350, would be all in, minus the 50 in rehab, would put me at 300 on the buy. But again, that would be at a 500 after repair value.
So why don't you go ahead and take a look at it sometime, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, I was just explaining to you kind of where I come up with my numbers.
For sure.
But
I gotta get going here. Can we text here?
Yeah. I just wanted to say real quick, one more thing is, if you ever sit down on a listing appointment with a distressed property, and that would be a great investor property, give me a call, because I could step in, give a cash offer, still pay you your commission, and you don't even need to list it.
I'm sitting on one now in Rochester Hills.
Can I have an address?
It's off market. Let me figure that out first. Can you text me your full name? And then I'll save you in my phone for them. Because it's a lifetime opportunity, right? Where there's a tenant in there now, so it's going to be really sellable to the average person. Yeah,
that's perfect. I buy stuff with non-paying tenants, ugly, tear down, everything, anything.
Yeah. And I want to buy this one. I'm an investor as well.
Okay.
So I've got two in this sub in Rochester Hills as well. And I want to buy this one, but don't have the funds right now. So
okay.
I can.
And I would pay the full 6% commission. I'll build it into the deal, but I could have a buyer agreement with you. We put me in touch with the seller. If it works out and they accept my offer, then we get it done. And that's how I normally work with agents, is they bring them to me off market, and at least give the seller the option. Hey, do you want to list it, or do you want to look at a cash offer?
No, I actually already have the listing document signed with her. So
okay. So we'll have to do it the traditional route, but would they entertain a cash offer and not list it, I guess is the question.
Definitely. These guys would.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll text you. I'll text you right now if you could send me that info, and we'll see if we can get that one done.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
No problem. All right, bye.
And that's my God.
That's what
we're talking about. Boom, let's go.
That's why we do it. Now, imagine if now he says once in a lifetime, right? Is when he sits down with he gets a distressed property like that Rochester Hills one he talked about. But guys, if you're networking with hundreds and in Hugh's case thousands of agents, and every of those agents bring you one deal a year,
That's every day you receive a deal. Yeah, every day.
and it's not even that he says that, but then what happens is once it's on his radar that he can actually make more money working with investors on those ones.
Gonna
Now,
look out more for it.
now they're looking for him. Yeah, they start.
I think he's lying though, because he had the one he's telling you about, and he also had the listing here, so he had 2 in a row within like a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's not once in a lifetime.
Yeah, he's got 2 right now, once in a lifetime. The other thing too is one thing that agents almost always say is, "I'm an investor too." No, they're not. No, they're not.
They always say that. Yes.
They always say that. They would say, here's what they say. They'll say, at that price, I would buy it. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You wish. So I just go, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Jerry, I want to talk a little bit about the tactic that they do on this listing of yours. I look it up while you're talking to him. It seems like this seller doesn't want to entertain, a win now price. What they do is they know they price it low, hoping that someone will bid it up and entering a bidding war. So I look at the Zestimate here, and this is a really good indication of why this is a good price. If you look it up on Zillow, you'll see that the Zestimate on this house is $370.
Yeah.
And they're asking 300, right? So they already price it $70K below this estimate, which is a really good indication that this is going to fly pretty fast. And that's why we want to buy these deals off market, because now Jerry has to compete with all the freaking buyers, even the one that want to move in and live in it, right? So there's no chance that we're going to be able to get this one, right? But that's not the point. The point is like, how do we get these agents to send more deals? In your case, you get one right away, which is amazing.
Yeah, so, and guys, notice a couple things there I did on that call. I was trying to see if that agent would give me preferential treatment, give me a competitive advantage, I call it. Meaning, yeah, let's get you in there early before we go live. Hey, let's get your offer in here. If your offer is good, I'll put it in front of the seller. Some agents are highly motivated to get your deal in and accepted because they want double commission. This guy was not. Now, maybe he is, but the seller's not. That's why I'm asking, hey, and one way to do this, I found that this question tells me everything. If I made a full price offer of $300, which is what it's listed for, would the seller take that offer right now? And he said no.
No. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to jump up and down and go through hoops. If a full price cash offer the seller would not take today, then I'm not rushing around and doing anything, right? Because they're just not motivated. Now, if I was an unmotivated seller with a distressed property and I listed it for sale, I would do exactly what this seller is doing. I wouldn't take the first offer. Maybe I can get 310. Maybe I can get 320. Maybe someone will come in and pay way more than my list price, and I'm not in a hurry, so I'm going to wait and see what the market does. That's not the type of seller we're looking for. We're looking for the seller that is like, hey, if you come in at 250, we're listed at 300, but if you put a 250 cash offer in front of the seller, they'll probably jump on that. Okay, great. Let's get my offer in. That happens too. You just don't know until you feel it out. You got to feel it out. You got to ask questions. And, the other thing too is I always ask agents, what do you think the back end is? And I always ask agents, what do you think the repair cost is? Now, I don't really care what they say. What I want to know is, do they know what they're doing? Are they experienced? Have they done their homework? Some agents are like this guy. They're like, I have no idea. And I'm like, how are you a real estate agent selling a property and you're going to get calls from investors and you're not informed? You haven't done your homework. That's a terrible agent that doesn't know. A good agent is like, oh man, you can get 500 for this. There's another property down the street that's on 3 acres that just sold, blah, blah, blah. And they sell it. They're salespeople. How are real estate agents not salespeople? It blows my mind. But this guy doesn't know. I don't know where repairs are. I think he said 30, which there's no way it's 30 because it's a big house. And, so,
and I think if the agent let the seller drive the decision there, because if you guys listen to Jerry call on the second property, Jerry asked him, hey, on this one, can we take it before you go on market? And the agent said this seller would. Yeah. What tell me is the original seller is the one who make the decision to, hey, let's put it out really low and do not take any offers until like 5 days in, right? So if that's what the seller want, you cannot control it. You cannot convince everybody to do stuff against their will. So all you can do is hope that it doesn't sell within 5 days. And now they're going to be more realistic with the active listing. Now we're focusing on our time on like let's get an offer in on this off market deals. Let's not put it on the market. Let's just try to see if we can just get the deal done ASAP.
Yep. Great. Good. All right. Awesome call. Okay, Hugh, you're up.
Man, you got me beat there. I thought I was doing pretty well until you have that off-market listing. We'll see if any of these agents want to do business here. So let me kind of go back to my go high level here. Can you allow sharing real fast?
Do it again. I clicked it and it didn't do it.
Okay. Let's see. Stop. Share screen. Do you see it?
Yeah.
There we go. So, Jerry, I have about 19 people that want to call me. So,
okay,
we're really behind. So, I'm just going to call the next one here. But I want to show you guys the process. Basically, I'm sending out that text, right? And I have about 19 people saying, hey, give me a call. Sure. Hello, I'm with a client. I'll call you. This guy even called me right here. This guy even like just give me a call before I even call him, right? So, like, they're really like proactive, right? So, so let's see if we stop sharing the screen now and let's call the next guy on the list. I'll call the guy that's called me. And Jerry, one thing I'll note to you, the reason why these realtors are so responsive is because they have an active listings. They want to sell that, right? So if you reach out to a part-time realtor who is doing a full-time job as a buyer and then do real estate on the side, you will never hear back from that realtor. So choosing who you call is also important if you want to have a high response rate. All right, let me call Marvis here.
How can I help you?
Hi, Marvis. This is Hugh. How's it going?
Going well. How are you?
Good. Hey, I'm sorry I missed your call, but I was basically just text you about helping me buy a home in the Greenville area. So basically, right now, me and my partner, we just onboard a new construction crew here, and we're looking to buy another project within like a 1 hour drive of Greenville. Is this something you can help with?
Yes, possibly.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm looking for properties with motivated sellers that want to sell fast for cash, or houses that just need some work, but it's just been really difficult lately to find anything that makes sense on the MLS there. So I was just trying to see if you have any upcoming properties, or if you can ask around your office to see if anybody have any pocket listing that we can take a look at.
Yes. Can you tell me what criteria, what are you looking for, and what's your budget?
Yeah, so typically I can stretch all the way up to $700,000 on my buy price, and we're looking at single families, multifamily, condo, townhomes. It's kind of dry right now, so I'm not too focused on the criteria. As long as the number makes sense, I'm gonna give it a shot, right? So it's more on like if the number makes sense, then I'll go for it.
Okay, and what is your background? What is your history as it relates to real estate?
Yeah, so I'm an agent here in Georgia and South Carolina, but I have been investing since 2019. We have a crew that I do fix and flip and rentals. I would say anywhere between Atlanta all the way to Greenville and down to Columbia. So I cover that triangle right between Georgia and South Carolina. So been doing about, I would say 3 to 8 deals a month. Sometimes I flip them. Sometimes I just resell them as is. Sometimes I even just keep it as a rental if the number makes sense. So it just really depends on the kind of deal.
Okay. And are you based out of Atlanta, or are you based out of Greenville?
I'm based in Atlanta. Yeah. So I'm based in Atlanta. I lived in Augusta for a little while, and I travel to Greenville occasionally. So Greenville is so close by, we can usually drive within like an hour or two. So I'm covering both Georgia and South Carolina. So anything you have there, I would love for you to represent me as the buyer. And if it's your listing, then you basically earn double the commissions without doing more work to it. close fast and we can get a deal done. Usually 21 days is the average speed. So I'm just ready to go. So if you have something, let me know.
Okay. Is it possible we could also meet maybe next week? Because I want to be honest with you, I get a lot of scam calls and people who are not serious.
Yeah. So
and I can't. I don't have a minute, not 1 minute to wait. But yeah.
Me too, man. Right? Yeah, no, that's fine. So to ease your mind, I do have a Google page with about 100 reviews online. So I'll send you that, and also I'll send you my Facebook link as well, just to put a face to a name. I'm like 2.5 hours away from Greenville, so like it would be a stretch for me to go out there. But to ease your mind, I 100% open to send you my Google funds, my Facebook link, even my Google review. So I treat my business seriously. So we can send all of that. Actually, I've never done a deal in Greenville, but we have done a lot of deals in Columbia and Atlanta. I can send you a couple of closing that we did recently as well, just so you know you don't waste your time.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm also in Atlanta too, so I live in Atlanta and Greenville.
Oh,
I'm licensed in both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm licensed.
Okay, great. So send me deals in Atlanta either. Also because that's I go basically within an hour drive from Atlanta, an hour drive from Greenville, and a 1 hour drive from Columbia, South Carolina. So whatever you have in that triangle, let me know.
Okay, sounds good. And awesome. I would assume you're looking at you're a cash buyer.
Yeah, I use cash or hard money. We use one of the two. But either way, there's no financial contingency, and we can close usually, like I said, 21 days. Just no appraisal needed.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, awesome.
Can you send me your information?
I will. Yeah, I will send you. Yeah, I'll send you my information right now. If you have something, just let me know. I appreciate you so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good.
All right. We have a lot of objection on that call. She wants to meet. She doesn't want to trust anybody, which happen all the time, right? And then that's why I'm a big proponent. I think you, Jay, as well. We want to build a brand for our business, right? And it doesn't have to be something huge. You can see, like, even if you just send your Facebook link and it's just show that you're a real person, that's all they need. They don't need something fancy, right? Of course, I have more proof as I build my business, but to start off, like, you just need a couple of photos on your Facebook profile to show your projects. And I think if you don't have anything, then I would usually, everything that you need, you can borrow from an established operator. You can tell the operator that, hey, can I borrow your credential here? If I have a deal, I'll JV with you. Can you let me borrow your, Google profile? Can you let me borrow your previous deals? Right? They're like 100% happy to do that. I know I would.
One thing I loved, Hugh, about your sales approach, which I learned from you and I've adopted, is I love how you approach the agent as a flipper. Did you guys catch that? So Hugh says to them, hey, I'm trying to keep my crews busy. We're looking for our next project. We want to go within an hour of this area. We can't find anything on market. Hint, don't send me on market.
Don't send me that.
Yeah. Do you know of anything? What a great way to kind of approach that. Now they're feeling like, okay, this guy is an investor. They have cash. They're looking for a deal. It's just a great way that you do that. I've seen you do that before, Hugh, and it works really well. I love that approach.
Yeah. And it just makes them sounds more real because I'm not just some random out-of-state investor who don't have anything established, right? I just say I have a crew. And like if you do not have a crew, that's fine. You can partner up with somebody who do have a crew, and then that's going to make you feel like you actually have a crew, right? You can say me and my partner have a crew. It doesn't have to be your crew. It's just that whatever you can partner up to make yourself feel more powerful. Because to me, I think, Jerry, like they ask the question, but they don't really care about the answer. They just care how confident you are with answering the question is what I found. So as long as you can answer with 100% confident, then you should be good.
Yeah. Great job overcoming objections, though. Hughes, if you're backed up, go ahead and call another one.
All right, let's call another one here. So far we have talked to 2 agents. It's all went pretty well, but like any objection that they give you guys can just write it down. I found there's only between 20 and 30 objections that any agent can give you, right? So if you memorize the answers to those 20 and 30 questions, you'll be able to spit out the answer almost instantly. So let me call another one here.
That is so true.
Let's see, Laurie. All right, let's call Laurie real fast.
Hello, this is Lori.
Hey, Laurie, it's Hugh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you answering my text. I basically was calling you because I'm just on board a new construction crew here, and I just came across your listing on Brook Forest Drive. This one looked pretty beat up, so I'm not sure it's going to be a good fit for me. But I want to call you anyways to see if you can help me, find my next project.
Yeah, for sure. So, what exactly is it that you do?
Yeah, so I'm an investor. I have a crew. We basically flip houses in Georgia and South Carolina. So I cover anywhere between Atlanta to Greenville down to Columbia, South Carolina. So I cover that triangle real close. And my situation right now is my crew is finishing up a job in the next 1 or 2 weeks, so I need to put them on something else right now. So I'm looking for a property that I can buy usually within the next 1 or 2 weeks to line up the crew. So do you have anything that makes sense right now?
I don't personally, but my company might.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay,
you're looking for things sort of like the Brook Forest, maybe not in that bad condition.
This one is okay. I think this one is exactly what we're looking for here. It looked pretty beat up, but usually I just
blank slate,
Yeah. I just know that usually when it get to on market, usually somebody will make a stupid offer that I couldn't, make. I still have to pay my crew and keep the bill going. So usually for 90% of the time, like somebody, maybe they move into it, they want to fix it up themselves while they're living in it, so they can overpay for the same house. So what I usually like to is if you can ask around your office to see if anyone have any pocket listing coming up. I would love for you to represent me as a buyer, and I can pay your commissions if the seller doesn't want to pay. And I just want to make sure on every single that you have, you're going to earn both sides of the commissions. And I want us to be best friends,
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Let me ask around and see what we have. I know my boss has a big portfolio of homes, and he's been slowly selling them, such as the Brook Forest one.
Okay.
So there may be others that he knows is coming up like now or next week or, something like that. So let me find out that information. Were you interested in going to see Brook Forest?
I don't want to disappoint you because the last thing I want to do is make you an offer that's too far off from where you need to be. So I think I would hold my horses on this one unless you couldn't sell it in 28 days or something. Then let me know if the seller is more open to it. But for right now, I would love if you can reach out to your broker and let him know that like you have an investor that can close in 2 weeks, and then whatever address he send, if it's off market, send it to me. The only reason is, my assistant is licensed, so like they probably see all of the properties online already anyway. So I don't want you to waste your time to look for properties that we already seen. So
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, let me do that, and I will get back with you. I'm not 100% if it will be today, but I will definitely get back with you.
Yeah, if I don't hear from you, I'll send you a text in probably 10 days or 7 days, and we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Laurie. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Man, I'm 3 for 3. My conversion rate is 100%.
Man, I wish calling sellers was like this. Direct to seller was like this. We're just on the phone a lot.
So Jerry, on this one, she just listed a fixer upper 2 days ago. It looked pretty beat up, but I know instantly if it's online, like I'm not gonna be like, there's no chance. So I would just rather her focusing on her time on like getting her broker to be on board with. And then again, like this is, I would actually add this agent into my follow up, like my deal specific follow up, because this agent have a deal very soon here. So like. We're not going to rely on automation to follow up with this agent. I'm going to personally give this agent a call in like 2 days because she mentioned that her broker have a portfolio that investor is releasing off market So that to me is the signal to like, okay, don't wait on the automation.
Stay on top
Give
of it.
her a call in 2 days. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So FYI, guys, I've been texting Tom, that agent who had that off-market property, and he's wants to meet at the property. So I went ahead and scheduled with my acquisition guy to meet him Monday at 3:30. And so I confirmed that. So that's set now as an appointment. And this is what I said. I texted both my acquisitions manager and Tom, the agent, in a group text. And I said, hey, confirming that Kevin is going to meet you Monday at 3:30. So now they're on a group text. I can step out now. They're going to handle it. I'm out. Right?
Yep.
And then I texted in that thread, texted Tom and said, what is the list price going to be? What day were you going active? Because he said that he already has the listing, like he already has a listing agreement signed. Because I need to know that now, because what will happen with agents is they'll go ahead and list it while you're in the middle of doing something or negotiating or whatever. That's happened to me a lot of times. So I have to communicate with this agent and say, do not list this property.
Do not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said to him, we'd like to present a cash offer to the seller before you go live. Don't assume that they understand that. You have to explain this stuff. So he got back and he said 200K was going to be our list price, which for Rochester Hills, I already know right now that's probably a really good price. With the knowledge of knowing the property will be going over the asking price by a bit. So they're underpricing it, knowing that they're going to get interest. So this is a good one. We might get this one. He said it's got a tenant in there and stuff. So this is the gold property right here that we might get off market.
We got to do this every week now if you have a deal every single time.
Guess what? Guess how much I paid for that lead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, one point.
By the way, I would pay $400 to go meet at that property that's got a tenant that's priced, you know what I mean, with a motivated seller. That's how much I'd pay off market for marketing.
Yeah, for lead.
You know what I mean? I just got that for free.
And Jerry, one thing that I mention to people all the time, the one thing I love about working with agent is speed to lead can be really fast, because as soon as an agent sends you a lead, you can assume that it's gonna you can get it under contract within a few days, because a seller would not be super urgent if they're if they're reaching out to an agent, they're ready to go. They're hiring a professional. They're gonna pay a commission to sell the home. If they are at that stage and the agent sends you a lead, usually our conversion period from the time the agent sent me a deal is 7 to 10 days. It's really fast because the seller is ready to go at that point.
Yeah. So. Yeah. That's great. Now, guys, one thing that I like to do is, because I'm ready to call another one, Hugh, is sometimes what I'll do is I'll get my list that I want to work on, and before calling, I'll text each agent. So I'll look up their number and then I'll text them and I'll say, hey, I want to call you about your listing on 123 Main Street. I'm Cash. I'm going to call you in 5 minutes. Now they're ready for my call. Now I may call them in 5 or 10 or whatever, but now when I start dialing, I always stay a couple ahead. So I'm queuing up agents. So it's kind of like what you did. You blasted a whole group, and now you got 19 of them ready to go. It's kind of like that. I'm just showing a slower manual way. If you guys don't have a setup like Hugh's got, and you're just dialing as you go, like I'm doing today, then that's one more thing to help you be a step ahead. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to be calling an agent called Kim. It's another property that I found right on PropWire, doing what we showed you guys, and this is an active. Okay.
Yeah. So text me that lead when you have a chance.
Let's see if she answers.
This is Bella. How can I help you?
Yeah, I thought I called a cell phone. I'm looking for Kim Camro.
Who is it you're looking for?
Kim Camro?
Oh, she no longer works here.
Oh, well, she's got a property listed. Do you have her number? I could call her about it?
I don't know. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, bye. Oh, now that I'm looking,
Change.
She has her mobile and her office as the same number. Wow. That's
I think,
that's
yeah,
fun.
you should probably change the brokerage. Do you have the name of the agent real fast? See if I
Yeah.
can look it up.
It's Kimberly Camro, Kamrow, and she's with Keller Williams. But I'll send you her property so you can see if you can find her.
Okay. Kimberly Cameron, right?
Camrow, Kamrow,
Okay, I see.
Kamrow. So let's see if we can find her. Should be able to find her somewhere.
So on Zillow, it shows 2 different phone numbers. You can try one of them. They have her phone number.
Oh,
on Zillow.
okay.
Yeah.
Text me the other number. I've got the office one, the 8200 or whatever it was.
Okay, I have 2 phone numbers. Let me just send you this. Get that?
Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try that other number.
Yeah, I think what happened here is this Kimberly probably changed brokerage and did not update her information on the MLS. That's why I still have Keller Williams.
Yeah. Let's see if she answers this number.
Hello, you've reached Kimberly Camera
Ooh.
with Prior
There we
Real.
go.
Sir. Thank you, Hugh. Way to go. Yeah, sometimes you just got to dig around, guys. Like Hugh found her number on Zillow, and she had it listed there. So I'm double dialing her, see if she'll pick up, and then I'll text her.
With Prior Realty Group, real estate we're celebrating, powered by Keller.
Okay. So I'll text her in a second, but let me find another one real quick.
Yes, really helped to text these agents before because Jerry, I learned from you. Your name is going to show on their phone when you call, so it's increased your chance of being picked up for sure.
Yep, that's one of the tricks, guys. That's why you want to text it. If you text before you call, then the phone systems will recognize that, you know. Okay, I'm going to call a different one right now. This is Angela about, let's see.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail for Angie Batten.
Yeah, we picked one of the worst time to call Risa Jerry. 4 p.m. on a Friday.
Yeah,
Probably on the beach already.
true. We're calling agents. They're at the bar.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't answer. And let me try one more. And if I don't get this one, Hugh, I'll let you go again since I know you got easy ones ready to go. Okay. And then what I'll do is I'll text them and see if I can get somebody queued up.
I think you can queue up. Yeah.
This is Eric.
Hello?
Yes. Hi, Eric. My name's Jerry. Calling you about one of your listings.
Yeah.
John R. Road.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
Well, I'm an investor looking for a good flip opportunity. Is this that? Or is this
Definitely would be a flip. It needs a lot of work to the inside. It just needs, it needs a full cosmetic remodel, and if that, it's like the best thing for it is for, one of these builders once put one of those McMansions in there. But the big, there's, it could happen. Somebody could totally remodel it and do something with it.
Tell me what numbers I'm working with here. If I fix this up nice, what do you think I could get on the back end?
You know what? I haven't run those numbers.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head with that.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I just don't have that on the rip.
Okay. I'm taking a look right now too, but let me ask you this. What do you think it would cost in rehab? New kitchen, counters, all updated.
It's been a minute since I've been inside of it. I mean, it all needs to be done. So it just depends on what you're looking at,
Okay.
what level you're going to.
Yeah, I know exactly then what I need to spend on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's it's almost 1,400 square feet, 1.5.
Yeah.
How busy is it right there? I know it's off the road a little bit.
I mean, you can pull in and out of the driveway, no issues.
Yeah. Okay. But is it
Yeah,
is it 4 lanes
not-
or how bad is
Yeah,
that?
it's 4 lane there.
4 lanes right there. So I got to think about
Yeah,
that
but
too.
Yeah, but it's like, I wouldn't say that's not the same as Rochester Road or something.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like the seller might be motivated. I'm just looking at you listed it for $299. They waited 2 weeks and then dropped it 20.
Yep.
Would they entertain a cash offer if it was at a discount?
Well, they'll entertain a cash offer. I mean, it just depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you, how often do you run into properties like this?
Pretty regularly. I mean, I flip properties myself too.
Okay. So you know what to look for then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I do all of Oakland and Macomb County, and I can't seem to find enough opportunities for my contractors or my cash,
That's everybody's problem right now.
Yeah. So what I like to do is I work with a lot of agents like you, where when you sit down at the listing appointment, suggest to the seller to entertain a cash offer. We come in, present that. If they like it, then you don't have to list it. I still pay the commission. By the way, I'm unrepresented, so I'd let you do both sides, so you could get the full 6%. I am licensed, but I'd let you, take the buyer side because I'm after the property, not the commission.
Sure.
Is that something you'd be open to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Yeah. Because I find when I'm competing, once it's listed, you know how it is. It's a lot harder.
100%, I get it.
But
I definitely, definitely keep your information.
Yeah.
So that if I got something that might appeal to you, how much will you go up to? Like, how much will you pay?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I've done Bloomfield Hills and all of it out there.
Okay.
And we'll do Pontiac. Like we do low end, high end. As long as it's Oakland and Macomb, that's kind of my stomping grounds.
Sure.
I try to stay. I do Detroit, but I try to stay out of Detroit because every time I do Detroit, I wish I didn't do Detroit.
Yeah, I don't. I really focus to not go in that area just because I'm a retired Detroit firefighter, and I just have seen too many bad things, and I know too many people that own rentals down there that their stuff's getting stolen, and guys who are doing a flip, and unless you get somebody sitting in the house all the time, stuff disappears and garbage gets poured in the driveway, and it's just not, it's not a market that I focus in.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I have a pretty simple formula I follow. I try to stay at about 70% of the resale value, whatever I can resell it for fixed up. So that's counting my rehab. So what I'll do is I'll take 70% of that. I'll look at comps. I'll try to find something that's similar, recent, nearby, take 70% of that, subtract out my rehab budget, and that's where I would need to buy.
Right.
Which might put me like on this one, it probably down in the like low twos. So I don't know if that's something they're ready to entertain. How long is this? It's not been listed long.
Not a whole long time.
What do you think about a verbal at like 225? If they entertain,
he's not going to respond to a verbal.
I just was trying to save you time, but you would,
No. Yeah, I think that right now, probably the lowest I could get him to would be 250, somewhere around there. I think he's not going to go. I'm not kidding you, I've already had like 10 offers at 225.
Okay, well, that tells me I'm at the right spot then.
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's, off the cuff. That's what they're coming in at. So
yeah, that's probably where it needs to be.
Probably. It's, I know that's what the builders want to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay to play the long game, meaning let's be patient, but like if things change with this seller, just stay informed with me. Let me know like, hey, they're getting a little more aggressive. Like help coach me along here, and maybe we can get it still down the road when he's
low. Absolutely.
But most of my success with agents is off market when you go on listing appointments. So that's if we could set that relationship up, that'd be awesome. You got anything right now you're looking at that I could give you cash offer on?
Nothing at this exact moment.
Okay. Yeah, save my number. I'll text it to you, but save my number in your phone as Jerry Cash Buyer. And anything you come across, I'd love to put an offer in front of them and see if we can get something done.
It sounds like a plan.
Yeah, like I said, I'll do the full. I can double dip it with you, no problem. Like let you have both sides. I'm happy to do that. Okay, great.
Appreciate it.
Yep, and I'll run numbers on this. Maybe I don't know if 250 is going to work. It's not looking like it, but I'll still run numbers and text you if that might work.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Jerry, I want to point out on this listings, maybe you guys don't see the photos, but like the agent only put 5 photos on the MLS, and I think it doesn't even show the bed and bath count on Zillow. So they're super lazy, guys. Like that's why we do this model, because they want speed and convenience just like the seller would. So like if you guys can make it easy for an agent where like they don't have to go through all the crap with like putting it on an MLS, typing everything, put a sign in the yard. That's why when we pitch off market, they don't have to do any of that. They just sign a listing agreement, sign a contract with us, and they're done. Like they have 0 more work involved, and they get to pay twice the amount. So agent is super lazy. That's why we do this.
And guys, that's very common, by the way, with distressed properties. Agents won't list the photos. It's sort of a double-edged sword. What's going to happen when they don't show photos is they're going to get a lot more calls because people are interested because it's priced pretty good. So people are going to call. But then what ends up happening is you waste their time because retail people go out there and they're like, oh, this thing needs a rehab. I wish I would have known that. And they would have known that if the guy would have listed 50 pictures, so I hate that because I hate it and I love it because I don't let it bother me. What it tells me is it needs rehabbed.
Yeah.
Because if it looked nice, they would put the pictures in there. They only don't put the pictures in there when it doesn't look good. So they just think it's going to show better or they'll get more activity if they don't. But really all it does is it just pisses everybody off. So I don't think it's a good move.
Awesome.
Okay. Hugh, you're up.
All right, let's keep going here. It might be sounding boring to you guys because every call is the same, and I want to emphasize every call is the same for a reason because I literally have my script out here with me, right? When you do this business, if it's boring, you're doing the right thing because it's supposed to be consistent, the same thing every single time, right? It's fun to say a different script every single time for a show, but like if you're actually doing the business, saying the same thing and have it dialed in is more important than having a different script every single time. So I just want to show you guys in case it's like super boring. It's boring for a reason because I'm literally sticking to my process here. For the most part, Jerry, if we can take a pause real quick on every single call with the agent, I break it down into 4 parts. The first part is just building rapport, and it doesn't have to be something crazy. It's just like, hey, how are you? just 10 seconds to 30 seconds. Don't have to chit chat for long on that. Part number two is we basically we briefly explain what we want, right? Usually it's just like, hey, I'm looking to buy another investment property within a 1 hour drive of X Metro because I onboard a new construction crew. So that's my part number two. Part number three is we explain it in more details a little bit, where we say it's a motivated seller, it's a fixer upper, it's something off market. Do you have something like that, right? So part number three is I explain my criteria, and you guys can see, like, we call 3 agents now. Every single one of them ask me, okay, what is your criteria? What is your price point? I can guarantee you, it doesn't matter what I say, they're not going to remember any of it after you hang up. So it doesn't matter if I say 400, 500, to them it's all the same, right? So don't focus on that. I'm saying to them a number, but I can change that number every time because I know they're not going to remember it. I think that the important question to ask is like, hey, do you have anything off market, right? So that's part number three. And part number four of the call is you have to explain the benefit to working with you, meaning they're going to receive more money for their commission, they're going to close the deal faster, and they're going to save a lot of hassles, right? So that's part number four. And also ask them to save your phone number in their phone. So it's very basic. It's 4 parts. Usually these calls are under 4 minutes. You see me do 3 calls now. It takes less than 4 minutes per call. And we're just going to go through them really, really fast. And it's going to be boring, right? But it's supposed to be boring to build a real business.
And by the way, guys, thank you for explaining that, Hugh. That's awesome. And that's the nature of this. It's boring, it's repetitive, and that's why Hugh did 1.8 million in revenue in 2025, because he's willing to do the boring, repetitive work every single day. So if you can't handle that, then this isn't for you. But Hugh, I comped that property real quick, and I think the back end on that is like 400, and with a 50K rehab, because it's only 1,300 square feet, so 50K rehab to do everything.
Okay.
At a 70% formula puts me at about 230. So he's getting offers at 225. Yeah. Those are probably good offers. Yeah. And guys, at 70% in that market, flippers are actually go up to 75. So as a really simple way of doing my math, I just go 70, and that 5% difference is my wholesale fee. That makes sense? So what I could do is I could go ARV at 75% times 75% less repairs, less wholesale fee, or I just run it at 70% and I know I've kind of built in my number.
So Jerry, that's actually super powerful, because if you think your number is 230 and they have received offer in 225, you can use the 225 as social proof. And then I think you did. Hey, that's where it probably needs to be. But like, I think it's gonna give you even more power, because if the best offer they turn down it's only 225, then your 230 is just like, that's a realm that they never seen before. So we don't know if they're going to say no to that. They might say yes to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so imagine this, guys. He's gotten these 225 offers. He says no today because it's only been listed 2 weeks. Let's say time goes by and I stay in touch with this agent. Maybe we do another deal or whatever. And then all of a sudden that seller is like, hey, I'm actually ready to get rid of this property. I'm kind of done with it. Then he says, Jerry, he said no to 225. What can you do? And I say 230, and they say yes to my 230. Why? Because I'm a little bit higher than everybody else. It's still a deal at 230. I can still wholesale that and make money. And because I stayed connected to the agent, I end up getting the deal, even though other people have made offers at 225. See how that works? Yep. That's how that works.
It's even better that they make offer at 225, because the previous investor do the dirty work for you. The previous investor is who get yelled at when they make a low offer. Like, are you freaking crazy? Like 225? Hell no. But when you make it 230 because they received 225 before, okay, 230, I can see why you make an offer, right? So it's like, if somebody do the dirty work for you already, just go in and make your offer, even though it's technically 60K lower than list price. Jerry, one thing I noticed on this deal, it actually has been listed before the same year to this year by a different agent, and they listed it for 350 back in May. Yeah. So they have come down almost 100 grand now, right? So within 1 month. So what this is telling me is the seller might be more motivated than what the agent tell us to be, because they always kind of guard it a little bit. But like, I think behind the scene though, like, they're probably ready to go. I would actually make a 230 offer.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I pushed for a verbal, and the verbal is because usually I can get the agent to call and throw a number in front of the seller. He said the agent won't even entertain a verbal, and it's like, okay, well, do you want to write it? And then that's when he came out and actually, did you guys notice? I actually got that agent to tell me the seller's bottom line. Now, that might not be true because how does he know really what the seller is willing to take? But at least he knows what he knows. At least he revealed what he knows, which is he would go down to 250. So it's at 279. Guys, I just got a $30,000 price reduction on the phone with the agent. You know how cool that is? I got a $30,000 price reduction.
I think Jerry, just for fun, I think we should call back that agent. I think our pitch is going to be, hey, I know the sellers say no to 225 before. We don't really know if they're going to say no to 230 because, I'm assuming that's probably not where you receive offer before. And also, you said they want 250. I'm at 230. That's only 20K off. Like, that's we're so close. Like, just can you see?
Yeah, let's write it up. Yeah, let's write it up.
Let's write it up and see what the sellers say. I would 100% make that offer based on like the way I see they drop the price. I do think if you put something in front of them, they have to respond to it. Even if they say no right now, they might say yes 2 weeks later.
And guys, Hugh touched on this a minute in the beginning. I'm going to say something right now. Let's say 250 is a deal. Like, let's say I run numbers. I'm like, hey, I could pay 250. It's actually not a deal. Here's why. It's listed for 279. If I get it at 250 and I take this to market at 270 or 265, then I'm too close to list price. So when I call buyers, I'm like, hey, I got a great deal. They're like, okay, what is it? I'm like, it's this address on John R. And they go, you're bringing this to me at 270. It's listed at 279. That's not a deal. Oh, well, yes, it is. Run the numbers. It's hard to sell. But if I can keep it at 279 and I can get it at 230, now when I take it to market at 245 or 250, it feels there's enough distance to where I can get cash buyers to look at it. They'll look at that.
And Jerry, also to put pressure on the timeline, we don't want to wait on this one because we don't want him to drop the price to 250. Because if he dropped the price to 250, now you play that game again where you have to be way lower than 250. So now you might have to go to like 205. You know what I mean? So we want to make an offer when the list price is 280. And let's say if I make an offer on this one, I would tell the agents like, hey, like just so you know, my appraisal value is heavily depending on what your list price is. So do not drop a dime from now. Just relay my offer, and if they take it, do not drop the price by one bit because it's gonna hurt me when I go and get funding for this. Right? So I pitch them real hard, so like stay at that price, like do not drop it.
Yeah, so true. All right, Hugh, let's call another one.
All right, awesome. We have, oh geez, I'm at like 22 past due now because I blast out like 100, and it trickled down over time. So like right now I'm up to, I only text one agent every 5 minutes, but even now it's piled up to like there's 22 people actually respond to me that I haven't.
You got to turn your automation off. You're never going to get to all those.
Yeah, I did. All right. Let's call Kim real fast.
Hello, you've reached Kim Crane with Herlong Sotheby's International.
Wow, you were 100 for 100 earlier.
I am not 100 for 100 anymore, so let's call the next one. All right. Let's see, John Armstrong. Yeah, I don't even bother comping the listing that they have because to me it's never about the listings. So we're just gonna wing it as we go. It's more important that I say my script than to comp. But most of these houses, they can be. Hello?
Hello, John.
Hey, John, this is Hugh. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, I appreciate you answered the call on a Friday afternoon. I know usually realtors are at the bar right now, so appreciate you still here.
Not me. What's up?
I'm contacting you because me and my partner just on board a new construction crew here, and we're looking for another project in the area, Greenville or within an hour drive. Is that something you can help with?
Of course.
Okay, perfect. So right now we're looking for properties with motivated sellers that want to sell fast for cash, or just houses that need some work. It's been real difficult for me lately to find any kind of thing on the MLS. It's been pretty slow. So I thought I'd call around and see if you have any stuff coming up, or if you have anybody in your office that might have a pocket listing that I can take a look at.
Yeah, did you look at that Wembley house?
I did. This one is so nice. I mean, I'm surprised why it still hasn't gone yet. I think you did a pretty good job with this listings. I think I would be more entertained to buy this as my primary, but it's kind of outside my budget right now. I'm not looking to move anytime soon, but it's going to be a great, primary resident for somebody.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah. Do you have anything else coming up? You talking to any sellers right now that about to list?
What budget?
Usually it's under 500K, but I got approved up to 3 million. So anything higher, it's case by case. I can stretch, but my sweet spot is usually under 500. If you have somebody who need a cash offer, I'm actually need to buy a house right now in 2 weeks. Otherwise, my crew will have nothing to do. So I'm in on time crunches. So if you have anything, like I said, or even if you can just call around the office here, if somebody have something, I would love for you to write the offer, ask my buyer agents, and I pay you all the commissions if the seller doesn't want to. So we can keep the ball rolling.
I got one you can look at.
Okay. You have the address?
Yes. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Two oh three
Hammett Street Extension.
How do you spell that?
Hammett.
Okay. Street extension.
That's it.
All right. Let me see. And this is in 29609, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Gotcha. Can you catch me up to speed with the seller situation on this one?
Yeah, we're planning on listing in a couple weeks. And if that's something y'all are interested in, we can make it a quick one for you.
Okay.
In a good area.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's in a decent area. I see that it's a pretty good house. Like, what make the seller want to sell?
What do they want to sell for?
Yeah.
Let me look at my notes. Hold on.
So actually, I saw that they bought this house not too long ago in 2022. So like they only been at it for 4 years. Are they relocating?
They're relocating.
Okay, gotcha. The photos look pretty nice though on Zillow. So is it still in the same shape?
Yeah, they've done a little bit of work to it.
I gotcha. Okay.
I think they're looking somewhere in like the mid 2s.
Okay, got it. So typically, I don't want to waste your time because when a home looks nice like this, typically I'm not going to be able to be offer something competitive. I don't want to waste your time. Usually, my strength is I have a really good crew. So we look at properties that need some work so that we can basically buy the home in the as-is condition. Yeah, that will be more like appropriate for me because I don't want to send you a low offer for no reason, right? I want to justify my offer because it's reflect the current condition. So if you have something like that needs some more work than this one, I think we can do better on those.
This one does need some work.
Okay. But I'll be honest with you. I see that they bought it in 2022 for 160. And I know that I have to do work to it. And like you said, if I aim to have the resale value in the 200, then at that point, if I back in my number for the rehab, the closing cost, the commission, and the finance cost, it's just like I would break even or lose money on a deal like this. So I just I just don't want to, have you investigate time into this just to figure out if we couldn't make it happen. Because I assume that they bought it not too long ago, so there's not a lot of equity for them to go low.
What would you buy it for?
I have no idea. I would have to run numbers on this one and get back with you. So give me some time to do that. If it's not a good fit, I'll tell you why. But for right now, though, let me send you my contact information. Should have my phone number, email, and Facebook on it. So I'll run number on this one. I'm assuming you don't have anything else, right? This is the only one.
For right now.
Okay.
At a price point that I think you want to purchase something at, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So let me run numbers on this one. If something changed, I'll definitely let you know. Otherwise, save my phone number, and we'll talk. We'll talk again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, got another one.
Do you know for a fact you couldn't pay anywhere near what they bought it for?
I don't know for a fact, but I think like 9 times out of 10, if they bought a property after 2022, like we usually cannot buy it. It hasn't always been the case, but even if we buy it, our margin is so small. So it depends. If I have nothing in my pipeline, I will give it a shot. But usually, with the way my pipeline look right now, I have so many other opportunities. I would basically just tell them, hey, I try my best. I don't think I can come close to what the seller is asking for, and it doesn't make sense. Especially when they ask for 250 and your estimate is 213. They're asking like even above estimate, and you can look at the photos. It looked pretty clean for the most part. Needs some minor work, but not really a deal that I see.
Yeah, it was weird. He even though you told him that, he said he still was like, well, where would you be? So I wonder why he even asked that. Like you just explained to him, there's no way I can pay anywhere near what you just bought it for a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was really good though to see, because you explained that, and then we got to watch it. Then do you guys remember? Hugh said, if they bought this thing in the last couple of years, then there's a very low likelihood that we're going to be able to buy it at a discount, because the seller's not going to take a $50,000 back.
Well, the seller have to pay me money at closing to sell the house, and most sellers don't have the ability to do that, right? They have to physically, instead of closing, they get the money, they have to pay me to buy the house. And most people, they don't even have $1,000 saved up, so like they cannot spend money to sell a home. Right. So that's why I take my battle carefully. Like I said, if I don't have anything, if I'm brand new and I have this lead, I will try it. But if I have 10 other leads that I have to make offer and follow up on, I would not try this lead. So it's really depending on how stacked your pipeline will be. For someone new, definitely try this one, because like you said, the agent is adamant about hearing my number, even after knowing that like I would be coming low. It's like, okay, just let me know where you're at, right? So definitely would worth a try if you don't have anything else.
Yeah. So let's address this question real quick. What's the benefit of having a real estate license? Since you fix and flip and wholesale. Well, if you flip as well, if you're just wholesaling, then there's still some benefit to it. If you're also flipping, there's a lot of benefit, because you can list your own flips. Now, one reason why I love having a real estate license in a core market where I'm doing direct to agent is, if you guys remember that very first call I did with Cal Fowler, and it was the bank property, and he said, yeah, just go look at it. Well, I have a license, so we can just call the office, the lockbox number, set up a showing, and we can go look at it. Whereas if I don't have a license, I got to make him meet me there, and he ain't going to want to meet me there. He's too busy. He's got all these bank properties. He's doing his thing. So the more difficult I make it on him, the less likely he wants to work with me. So having your license allows you to set up your own showings. You can go look at properties. It allows you to list your own properties. Also, what I found is it allows me to relate to agents on a whole different level. I can say to them, hey, I'm licensed too. Other agents respect other agents typically, because if you're licensed, then they'll look at you as a level of professional, because they think having a license means you're a professional. It doesn't mean that, but to them it does.
Also, Jerry, something you can say too is like, hey, I'm licensed, so I see everything on the MLS already, so I don't want to waste your time. You don't have to send me stuff that's online, unless it's your own listings.
Right.
So but if you don't have a license, then, you don't feel comfortable saying it. Jerry, one thing I also love about having a license is if you do a takedown model, you basically save a lot of cost that way. Meaning, if you buy the property, you skip the whole dispo process. You just basically use the MLS to sell. It saves you 3% every single time. So, and also you can control the dispo process, because if you use an agent to sell your home, you don't have any clue if they're doing a good job or not. To me, I have trust issue. I don't know if the agent answer all of the incoming calls from buyers. I don't know if the agent follow up with people for feedback, right? But if I'm a listing agent on my own listing, then at least I can control that in house.
Yeah, great point. And by the way, this is a good point here. Certain states require you to be licensed. So there are certain states that require, if you're going to do a traditional assignment of contract, where either to do the assignment, you need a license, or either to publicly market your contract, you need a license. And guys, I have a report that I do. You can go to wholesalerregulations.com and download that. But I list all the states and the different regulations. There's 5 or 6 states that require you have a license to wholesale, like Virginia, Pennsylvania, 3 or 4 other states. And there's 5 or 6 states that require a license if you publicly market your contract for sale.
Yeah.
So, and then there's a lot of states that have disclosure rules and different things. But now there's enough states. There's probably half the states now that have some form of regulation. So you do need to know.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming, and you
It's
do need
coming.
to make sure you know what you can and can't do in your state, for sure.
Yeah. Jerry, I think that's the number one reason why I went and get my license back in 2024. If you remember, at that time, we see South Carolina came out with this crazy law where, like, hey, they're going to ban they want you to be licensed to wholesale, but if you're licensed, you cannot wholesale.
You
right?
cannot wholesale,
So
yeah.
when I see that, and like I'm right next door, right? I'm in Georgia. Like most of my business is in Georgia, so like when I see that, I know it's just a matter of time before they come out with something.
Yeah.
I don't want to be caught by surprise.
And North Carolina, they proposed a really aggressive bill, but it did not pass, thankfully. But it's coming, guys. So I'm a big proponent of getting your license. It's going to allow you to, be one step ahead of regulation. I think in time they're going to pretty much make everybody have a license to wholesale. Yeah. So get it. This person's asked a lot about this question here, or at least a couple times in the chat. Double closing. So when it comes to regulation, double closings is the gray area. So some states, they do not put anything in the law specifically about double closing, typically outline the assignment or equitable interest. It's a gray area because your BC contract with your buyer is equitable interest, because you're contracting a property you don't yet own. Yeah. Now, it's a gray area because they don't specifically talk about it, and it's going to take precedent. It's going to take case law before we know how they handle it, right? So in a lot of these states that have regulation, people are getting around the regulation by double closing. So that's one thing, is you might double close strategically because of regulation. Another reason why you could double close is because your fee is really large and you don't want the seller to see that or the buyer to see that. So some people strategically double close. Sometimes you double close like a bank property or a short sale or something. Some contracts have no assignments, so it forces you to double close. Like, there's reasons why it makes sense to double close certain times and where you don't need to do it other times. Right. So I'm not real sure what you're wanting to know about double closings, but if you have specific questions, maybe put those in the chat. Okay. Hugh, did you freeze up? I'm not sure if Hugh froze up or if it's me. Hugh, see if you can refresh your screen or maybe jump back in. I'll text him real quick. Guys, am I frozen or is Hugh frozen? Leave a comment real quick. Let me know. I don't know. Let me answer this question here. What free tools can I use for comping the property? You can comp right on PropWire. I comp on Zillow and Redfin. There's lots of ways to comp for free. Yeah, froze. But who's frozen? Am I frozen or is Hugh frozen? Hugh's frozen. Okay. I'll wait for him to come back in. But you guys can hear me fine? I'm not frozen, just Hugh? Hugh is gone. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and call another one. I'll keep an eye on Hugh trying to come back into the chat here. But let me call another one here. On this one right here.
Hello, you've reached Abby Thompson.
Okay, she didn't answer, so I'm going to just dial her again, see if she'll answer.
Hello, you've reached Abby Thompson. Sorry I cannot come to the phone right now, but please leave a brief message and I'll get back with you. Thank you.
I'm going to send Hugh the link to get back in. Maybe he's got an internet issue. Okay. Jerry's good. Okay. Jerry, what state would you say is best for on-market wholesale and why? I think it works everywhere. I think everywhere is great to do on-market. I don't know that there's, for on-market, I don't know that there's anywhere that would not be good. I mean, maybe heavily regulated states that would make that hard. Oh, let me see if he's trying to join. There he is.
Sorry, I got a thunderstorm. It's reset the whole thing.
There he is.
You hear me now?
Yep, you're back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got a thunderstorm, so just reset my whole power.
Yeah, this question here I'm looking at, Hugh. What state is best for on market?
Ooh, yes, I have a very heavy opinion on this. Curious to see what you say, but I'll keep my peace.
I was just going to say, I think it works everywhere really well. I would say if you're going to do on market virtual, like a virtual market, you are going to need to pre-establish boots on the ground. Because there's going to be a lot of times where you got to get eyes on the property. You're going to have certain agents that are going to want to meet there, or they're not going to let you have access. You know, you're going to run into that. And so, and also, here's a trick I do all the time with on market. I'll waive my inspection when I'm working with an agent. And if I'm fast, I'll get eyes on the property before I even get the contract from the agent. Okay. So let's say that we negotiate on the phone and he says, hey, I'm going to write the offer. I'm going to put it in front of the seller. I know that there's going to be a couple hours before the seller signs it. I get back the signed copy and now I'm under contract. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll say, look, I'll have no inspections and send me over the contract. And before I bottom line the contract, I get my guy in the property. We walk it, we get photos, videos. And then if there's something weird going on and I don't like the deal, before I sign it, I'll call back and I'll say, hey, my guy just walked it and you didn't tell me it had a foundation problem and this and that and this and that. And then I sort of like, I still have my inspection. I just do it fast. Right. But again, boots on the ground is a big deal, I think, with agents. So I wouldn't attempt to do nationwide virtual on market. I don't know that would be a good strategy. And then the other thing I was going to say, Hugh, is heavily regulated states. The regulation still applies in a lot of states. Disclosure still applies. So if you're working with a licensed agent, maybe the licensing part doesn't apply. It'll depend on how the law is written. But for sure, the disclosure stuff still applies. So now
you have something in like Washington where like you cannot wholesale whatever unless you're working with an agent? Is that like
Washington State has a law where private contracts have to have a real estate agent representing either party, or if you don't, then you have to give the seller the option to to get an appraisal that you pay for, and then they can cancel the contract after they get the appraisal.
So that's perfect for this model, because this model you have an agent involved in the model like 100% of the time, so it doesn't matter to the agent model anyways in Washington State, right? Yeah. But you're gonna chase away a lot of the direct-to-seller wholesaler who have to go through all that hoop. So,
yep. What would you say about that?
Yeah, so I do think that if you are not local to a competitive market, don't try to virtually wholesale it. And what I mean by a competitive market is you're gonna have markets like Atlanta, Florida, Phoenix, where you're gonna have people exactly what Jerry does. They can drive to the home, they can see it, they can go zero inspection, they can put 5K earnest money down. Right, you cannot compete with that because if you're new and you're virtual, you don't have a competitive edge compared to someone who is local there. Now, versus if I go to you call it a sleepy market, I think it's a perfect name for it. If you go to like an Ohio, an Indiana, Kentucky, those are really good market. It's just not popular because gurus online don't base out of there. They don't have big community in those states. So I bet you if we're calling 100 agent in Atlanta versus calling 100 agent in Kentucky, the agent in Kentucky will be so friendly, so want to talk to you. They want to do everything with you because they don't receive 10 texts a day from investors. I'm in Atlanta. I'm a licensed agent, and I list distress deal all the time on the market because I do a technical model. Jerry, I receive like 5 texts a day saying the same thing, right? So it's gonna you have to do more to stand out. Now I am okay in Atlanta because I'm established. I can send the agent the Google profile. I can send the agent my proof of fund. I can send the agent all of the project I've done in the past. But like it's gonna take me extra effort to compete in Atlanta. Versus if I go to a sleepy market, I don't have to do none of that because the agent would just want to talk to you no matter what.
Yeah, that's
so if you're virtual anyways, don't compete where you don't have an advantage, right? Because in other markets, you don't need any competitive advantage because the agent doesn't get called every single day. They'll be thrilled to talk to you.
Yeah. There was a question in here about proof of funds. So guys, if you're a member of my my deal management software called Flipster, you have to be either a pro or prime level member. The basic level doesn't have it, but we provide unlimited proof of funds letters, and they're custom. So they'll have your name on there, they'll have the address of the property, the dollar amount, and they're custom proof of funds letters, and they're unlimited. Now it is just the letter. So if they want to see hard proof of funds, like a bank statement, about 10% of agents like hard proof of funds. Most are fine with just a soft proof of funds, which is what we provide in Flipster as a service. So I forget who asked that, but does that answer that question? Good. Well, we're about out of time, guys. I think, Hugh, you and I need to go longer doing this. 2 hours felt like 5 minutes to me.
Yeah, for sure. And we have a lot of engagement, so people just I think people have a lot of questions that we can answer.
Yeah, I just want to see if there's any other questions. Is there any other questions you see in here that we can answer real quick before we?
What would you say to an agent that won't expect an offer? Did you answer that already? What would you say to an agent that won't expect an offer if you're not represented? Of course, they don't want to dip.
I think what they're saying is if the agent doesn't want to dual represent, you will run into that. I run into that sometimes. I think it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, why would you not? But maybe they want to maintain the relationship with the seller. A lot of agents are worried about being on both sides. What I do is I offer it, and then if they want it, great. If they don't, then fine. We'll just have. I'll tell them fine. That we'll have buyer representation because I don't need buyer representation.
Yeah,
and then that saves 3% to the seller, which means you can pay more. So it comes out good that way. Very early on, Hugh, I saw somebody say Texas is a non-dual agency state. They're actually, I think, 13 or 12 or 13 states.
Oh my God. I love that question. Every time I see that question, I don't care what state you told me. I can tell you there's probably 10 wholesalers who are doing the double strategy in that state. Yeah. So like that's the way to do it. And
I've done it in Texas dozens of times. Yeah. So what you do, guys, is just say to the agent, look, I'm unrepresented and I don't need buyer representation. The buyer side is up for grabs. Are you interested in it? You can represent me or however you want to structure it for the buyer side commission. Now, in a non-dual agency state like Texas or Florida, they can still be a transactional broker, which means they don't represent either party, but they still represent both parties. They can get both commissions. Let the agent figure it out. Trust me, they know how to do it in Florida and Texas and everywhere.
Yeah.
Just offer it.
seen they do most of the time, at least in Georgia and South Carolina, they will represent the seller as a client, so they have the seller best interest in mind. They'll represent me as like a customer, meaning, hey, I'm only pushing paper for you. I don't look out for your best interest. I don't care if you lose money. I care about the seller, but I still gonna earn your 3% commission because I work for you as a customer. So, but then again, like they will know how to do it. And even let's say if they don't want to take it, then I'll say, fine, that's, really appreciate your transparency here. What I can do is I can put the buyer commission to be $0. So this way your seller just earn an extra 3% compared to any other offer you receive from other agent. Your seller have to receive less than 3% because they have to pay a buyer agent. If you work with me, the seller make more money. So that's a win-win. Would you be able to do that? How can they say no to that, right? The seller make more money. If they truly represent the seller, they would want the seller to make more money. They would want you to like have to hire another agent just so that the seller receive less than 3% from the original price.
Yeah. Yep. Good point. Another question here, and then we'll wrap up, Hugh. I keep running into the issue of the agent shutting me down before I even get to the offer. Any advice? If I were to audit your call, somewhere along the way, there's a disconnect. You're not connecting with that agent. You're not resonating with them. Maybe they're misunderstanding you. If you're not coming across very confident, then that's going to affect you. Some agents are super rude and it doesn't matter what you say. Today we had all nice agents. There were no rude agents. But if we were to go another hour, I'm sure Hugh or I would talk to a rude agent. Probably not Hugh because they're inbounding him.
I filter by text,
Yeah. But I would get it because I'm cold calling. So some of them would be rude and stuff. It's just all part of it. But if it's consistent, if you're consistently getting non-responsive agents, then you got to really think through your process and what are you doing to not connect with that agent? Somewhere you're having a disconnect.
Yeah.
Anything you'd add?
And again, I would also that's part of it, and it's also going back to like, are you calling an agent that received 10 calls just like you, and you didn't stand out, right? So like if I'm calling an agent in Atlanta, I have to be extra special. I have to be like, hey, I have a crew. Here's my address. Here's my page, right? They have to feel like you're real. Like if you're in one of those markets, if you're in Las Vegas, Phoenix, California, they receive call like this 100 times a day. That's why they get pissed off and they don't want to even hear your pitch. Or just give me your number. I don't care what you say. I received. This is like my 5th call for the day. That's why they cut you short. Right. So like, just know if you're in one of those competitive markets, you have to be extra confident. That's what I'm saying. If you're new, even if you're local to one of these states, try somewhere else to build your confidence. Try somewhere else to build up like your resume. Right. You have to be able to tell them, I flip these houses. I close these deals. Here's on the HUD. Here's my page. Right. If you don't have none of that, then it's really hard for you to start out in one of those markets because agents shut you down exactly because they receive the same pitch like 10 times a day.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
So.
All right, great. Well, guys, thank you for being here and participating. I had a lot of fun doing this. Hugh, let's do this more often. If you're up for it, Hugh, I would do this consistently and regularly. We could make maybe a show out of this.
We can make a show out of it. Yeah.
Keep teaching people how to do this at a high level.
Yep, we can do this for fun, and also you get a deal. I have 3 new connections, so it's all a win-win.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, thank you, Hugh. Thank you, everybody, and let us know if you want us to continue doing this show, and we'll keep doing it. Appreciate you guys.
Comment. Yep.